Microsoft Excel channel. I'm here to help you navigate Excel, break down its features, and make sure you feel comfortable using it, whether you are just getting started or have been using Excel for a while. My goal is to help you overcome any Excel challenges and get the most out of it. In today's video, we are going to explore the Excel interface. Many people use Excel every day, but might not be aware of all the powerful tools right at their fingertips. By the end of this video, you will be able to confidently navigate Excel and understand the basics of its layout and features. Microsoft Excel is an amazing tool for organizing, analyzing, and managing data. You can use it for tasks like creating contact lists, managing your budget, creating invoices, and so much more. Let's get started. To open Microsoft Excel, you can click on the search button. And on the search button, if you don't see Excel on the list, you can type Excel. It should appear on the list. I've used Excel recently, so I'm going to click on My Excel to open Excel. Then it will take you to the home. Can you see there on the backstage view, we have home, and we also have blank workbook, and also we have templates. We are going to click on the blank workbook. Now you can see there on top, this we call the title bar. It will say book 2, right? So depending on how many times you have opened the application, it will show book 1 or book 2. If I come this side, you'll notice that we have our save button, we have our maximize buttons, and we have our minimize buttons. And also over here, you have your account details where you can log in and log out of your Microsoft account. That's if you are using Microsoft 365. Over here, we have our search button where you can search for anything in Excel. If you need help, you can search using the search button. And on this side, I have what we call Quick Access Toolbar. On the Quick Access Toolbar, you'll notice you have your Save button. Also, you have your Undo and Redo buttons there. So if you make any mistake while you are working on Excel, you can reverse what you have done, undo or redo. Also, you'll notice on your Quick Access Toolbar, you have a drop-down arrow, which means that you can add any buttons that you quickly want to access on your Quick Access Toolbar. If I click on my drop-down, you'll notice that we have new. If you want to open a new Excel application, if you want to open files, like you saw when we were just opening this workbook for the first time. Also, if you want to save, which is that save button, which is already added. Also, you have email. If you want to directly send an email from your application, you can also add that on your quick access toolbar. You have your quick print and you have your spelling. Keeping in mind that Excel is not like Word, it will not show you any grammatical errors or spelling errors. So you have to make sure before you print your Excel file or your workbook, you check your spelling. So I'm going to add that on my quick access toolbar so that I can easily see it there by ticking on it. And already we have our undo and redo button that are part of our quick access toolbar. And we have other buttons over there. If I want to add more command buttons, I can click on more commands and then I can go and choose more commands like your cut, your copy, deleting of columns or row, anything you want to add on your quick access toolbar. For example, if I scroll down a bit, let's say I want to add, what can I add? Let me scroll down. Insert picture, for example. If I want to add that, I will click on it and I click on add, and then it will add it on my quick access toolbar. Then I'm going to click OK. Then I have pictures there. So if I want to insert a picture, instead of going here on insert, I can click the button here on my quick access toolbar, right? If I want to remove it, I'll click on the drop down, go back to my command buttons, and I will click on it, the insert picture command button, and I'll click on remove, and then it will remove it from my quick access toolbar. So basically any button that you want to quickly access, you can add it on your quick access toolbar. Then we have our tab buttons right there on top. We have the file tab, the home tab, and the insert tab. So I'm going to go through them with you. Over here, if I click on the file tab, it takes me to what we call backstage view. On the backstage view, that's where you'll find home, where you can add your blank workbook and templates. Also, you have new, where you can find more templates as well, and then you can choose different template. And we still have a blank one there. You have open, where you can open new folders or new files. You have info, you have save and save as, and also you have your print when you want to print, and then information about your account, and options where you can set up your Excel features. But we won't go through all of them right now. Just be aware that we find all of that on the backstage view. Then I will click here on the back arrow to go back. Then we have our home tab. On our home tab, when we click on it, you'll notice that we have what we call a ribbon. This part over here is called a ribbon. And then within a ribbon, we have what we call our command groups. For example, we have the clipboard command group, and also we have the font command group. Now, if I go to the font command group on the bottom right corner there, we have an arrow there. If I click on that arrow, it will show me more options, right? It will show you more options under the font group, which means that you can do a lot more under the font formatting, right? You have all those options you can choose from, right? Now, if you look at different command groups, you'll notice that you have that arrow as well that you can use to click on it and see more options that you have. Now moving on, I'm going to go to the insert button. On the insert button as well, anything you want to insert, you'll find it there, and then you'll see that on some of the command groups, we have that um, arrow there on the corner. I like to call it show more button because it shows you more, what more you can do on that one. So this one won't work. But if I go back to home, on my number format, it will give me more options, right? Now, if I go back to insert, this one won't work right now. We haven't inserted anything yet. So once we have inserted anything on our chart, then we can use that show more button. Moving on swiftly, we have page layout as well, where we have our ribbon and we have our command groups as well. And then within our command groups as well, you will notice that we have what we call command buttons. Any of these buttons that you see there, those are our commands button that we can click on. Once again, we have our show more button over there that I have more options when it comes to my page setup. Page setup over there, we can set up our margins, our header and footer, but this will look at it on other videos, right? So we have our formulas tab, which is my favorite tab. Also there I have my command groups. Here on my function library command group, anything to do with functions, formulas, we find it over there. You can see we have all of that under formulas. Then we have our data tab. Also, anything to do with data. If I'm pulling data from a different source, then I will work with this tab, anything to do with that. Those who already know about importing data from other system into Excel, this is where you will be working from a lot, right? Then we have our review tab where we can check our spelling as well. Like I said, Excel will not tell you if you have made a spelling error. You have to make sure that before you send that particular file or that particular workbook, you check your spelling. Then we have our view button, different ways to view our spreadsheet or our workbook before we print it. Now, our workbook views, you can see we have normal, we have page break preview, we have page layout. If you come here at the bottom on our status bar over here, we have the same thing as well. We have normal, we have page layout, and we have page break preview. So you can choose to use this pattern, which are much quicker to access, or you can come to view and we have all those options as well. Then I'm going to skip this one, developer, not everyone has it. It's a pattern you need to add. But as you continue watching our videos, I will show you how to add your developer pattern and what we use it for in Excel. Then I come here to the help tab where you can go for help as well. Ask any questions if you are lost in Excel. And also this button as well, which is show training, which comes in handy because it's a tool that you can use to practice your Excel as well. So those are the tab buttons, and we have looked at what we call the ribbon, and within the ribbon we have command groups, and within the command groups we have our command buttons, all the buttons we see there, and also we have that arrow, which I call the show more button, which you can use to look at more options of font formatting as well if you want to do that. Now, when we go further, we have what we call a formula bar. You'll notice on the formula bar, we have that button, which is the insert function. If you want to insert function, we'll look at that. But you'll notice that when you type in an Excel cell, right, if I type anything in my cell, it also appears in the formula bar. But as we continue with our lessons, you will understand better how we use the formula bar. I'm going to delete that. And then over here, we have what we call the name box. We use the name box to navigate in Excel. For example, if I type B13 and press enter, it will navigate to that particular cell. So I'm going to zoom in a bit. So it will navigate to that particular cell. And you also see that cell reference on the name box. Now, we use cell references a lot in Excel. As you can notice here, our cell reference is B13. Others call it a cell address. I prefer cell reference. So if I go and click again and say A1 and press enter, it will navigate to A1. Now, if you look at Excel, we have our columns, which we identify by letters or alphabets. And also we have our rows, which we identify by numbers, right? So where the row and the column meet that intersection, it will give us a cell reference. For example, now I'm in cell B2. We use cell references a lot in Excel. As you continue with the videos, you will notice that cell references are important in Excel. We use them to navigate. We use them when we do our formulas and calculation in Excel. So we use them a lot in Excel. So you will notice why we use cell references and why they're important in Excel. Now, a cell that I click on, or the cell that I've selected, that we call an active cell. So that means if I'm on cell B3, it's an active cell. I can calculate in that cell, I can type my data in that cell. It's an active cell. And if I select B1 to B10, that is a range of cells. I've selected multiple cells, and multiple cells is called a range of cells. So that way, note it because you'll hear it a lot in Excel. You'll see when we do calculation in Excel, the word range comes up a lot. So the word range means multiple cell selections. You have selected multiple cells. So this is a range of cells, or the range I've selected is B1 to B10. Now, if I go at the bottom, we also have what we call sheets, or also known as worksheets. So I have only one sheet over here. And then if I click the plus, I can add another worksheet. And then we have these arrows here, which we use to navigate through our worksheets. And then also, if you have a lot of worksheets right there at the bottom, you can right click on that arrow, and then it will show you all the active worksheets you have in that particular workbook. So they do come in handy when you want to navigate through your Excel. Then we have our arrows where you can navigate also on your Excel horizontally and vertically, or you can scroll horizontally and vertically in your workbook. Now, another thing that I want to talk about, I want to talk about the pointers that you find when you are working with Microsoft Excel. Once you understand that, it makes it easier for you to work with Excel or to navigate in Excel. So I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to zoom in so that you can see that. Now, in Excel, as I already mentioned, we have different pointers. We have a selection pointer that I can use to select a cell or multiple cells. So I will click here to select one cell, right? Or I can click, hold my mouse, and select multiple cells. So this right cross pointer, I use it to click on a cell, select cell, or click, hold, drag to select multiple cells. And also I have another pointer, this one. It's a black arrow. If I put it on top of, for example, a column B in this case, and I click, then it will select that particular column, that whole column, right? And then if I click on one, then it will select that whole row. Then we have what we call the I-beamer pointer. Now, if I double click on a cell, there's the I-beamer pointer. It flashes. It means that I can start typing in that particular cell, right? If I double click, that means I can start typing in that particular cell, right? It's the I-beam pointer. I'm going to delete that. Then we have what we call a fill handle, right? So if I type one there, enter and go back to my cell bottom right corner, I put my pointer there, I get that little black cross. That we call a fill handle pointer. So if I click and I hold it and I drag, it's going to fill the number or copy the number to the rest of the cells, right? You can do it horizontally or vertically, it still works. And also, I'm going to remove that and do that. Then also we have another pointer, a resize pointer. So if I put my pointer between column B and column C, the line that separate those, put it there and I drag, then it will make my column width bigger. It can resize the column. I can do the same with the row. It will resize the height of the row, right? Then I have another pointer, which is a move pointer. If I put my pointer there on the cell, on the line, then I get that pointer with arrows. Then I click, hold my mouse and move it, then it will move that particular cell, right? So there are different pointers that you find in Excel that you can use when you working with data in Excel, right? So once you know how to use those pointers and understand what the pointers do, then it makes it easier for you. Because I've seen other people when they're working on Excel, especially those who are not used to working with Excel or with clicking and moving their mouse sometimes. You find that sometimes when they want to drag or copy or use the fill handle, they accidentally choose this one, which is for moving a cell. So they end up moving their data like that, and it's like, wow, what happened? So if you know and notice different pointers, then it makes it easier for you when you are navigating on your Excel. I hope that helps. So I think that's about it for today. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on new content. See you on the next video.